Sorry, it's Clive. And they're doing...
Shaun recorded it about 6 years ago.
Wow.
Close it down.
Very good.
I know what you two want, and my answer is it's got nothing to do with me.
Of course it has. It has everything to do with you. After all, he is your boss.
Exactly. He's my boss, so talk to him.
That's not fair, Mo. It's you who caused the situation.
Oh, yes. I'm going on holiday, so that makes me the sinner.
For 4 weeks. That's the problem.
Let me remind you, Sally, that your mother has conveniently gone on holiday to Australia for 6 months to visit her grandchildren. And you, Hugh, that according to my contract, I'm entitled to 4 weeks paid holiday per year.
Yes, but 4 weeks in one go, Mo.
Has he been any more amenable when I've asked for just 2 weeks?
Well, no, but...
There's no buts. You know if I asked for just 4 days, he would throw just as big a fit.
But it's not just you going, that's the problem.
I know your problem. You've got to find some poor bloody temp to suffer him for a month.
No, not anymore. For the past 11 years, our agency has provided 29 temps to be abused and bullied by your egotistical and sadistic boss. And my mother has told me to refuse to do it any longer.
Come on, Sally. Your mother must have someone on the books who hasn't heard about him.
Yes, Hugh, we do. But we've also got our reputation to uphold. Of the 29 temps we supplied to Rodney Groomes, we've had 4 court cases for damages, 3 inquiries for the working practice committee, a nervous breakdown, and 1 poor young girl who totally disappeared, and we've never seen her since. For a time I thought he killed her.
Now you're just being melodramatic, Sally. You know she just went home to Canada.
Most only lasted a day. Olga lasts a whole week. We never knew how. I tell you, Mother says we've had enough. No more girls to be scarred for life. I have a duty to care for them. I know as personnel director, you've put an awful lot of work our agency's way. But no more girls for him, and that's final. And you'll do no better off than the agencies. And I know you have tried. All the other girls we've sent here to other departments have been fine. It's just him.
Look, I am going on holiday to visit my sister and her lovely family for 4 weeks. I told him about it a month ago, and since then he has threatened me with everything, including the sack. If he should sack me by the way, I will be suing for wrongful dismissal.
Thanks, Mo. That's a great help, that is. Well, I don't know what to do. I'm at my wit's end.
I wish my mother came back. She said she was only going for 2 days. I don't fancy seeing Mr. Groomes again. He asked me if I was still in nappies and had brought my dummy with me. He said, I may be young, but I have a degree in business management. And then he said that he's surprised I'd finished my A-levels. He's so rude.
Very upsetting in that, Sally, but it doesn't help with our problem.
Well, it's just a thought.
Anything.
If you want me to take him with me, you can forget it.
I had a friend. My mother wouldn't take in her books.
Poor girl, what is it? Is she retarded?
Not at all. She was always the cleverest in our group.
You said you wouldn't send a girl under any circumstances.
Like I said, my mother wouldn't take her in her books. So really, she isn't one of our girls. You'd have to employ her as a freelance.
What's wrong with her?
Nothing, really. It's difficult to explain. I always quite liked her. We were the best of friends and always had brilliant times together.
Come on, Sally, there must be something the matter with her.
Mother says she's very forthright and lacks decorum.
You mean she's bloody rude?
Too true. She doesn't give a toss for anyone. She never lasted long in any of her jobs. There was always complaints. That's why my mother won't take her in her books.
She won't last long with Tantrum Boy.
Wait a minute here. We've always tried to find temps who would fit in, be subservient, bow the head, and they haven't lasted more than a day. I don't see how it could be any worse. This girl could be a good ploy.
He'll throw her out.
I wouldn't like to try it. She don't take too kindly to that sort of thing.
He'll get security to throw her out.
What, old Owen? He's too old to throw anybody out. No, send her round tomorrow, Sally. Let's give him some of his own medicine.
It could mean the end for us all.
Oh, come on, who else would work for him? No, send her round. What's her name?
Miss Admirable Smith. And good luck to you, old misery Groomes.
Mr. Groomes' office?
Yes,
Oh, good.
that's a matter of opinion. And who might you be?
Tim Mallock-Brown takes my first day. Dr. MeLintoch sent me, down in Human Resources.
Oh, another lamb to the slaughter, eh?
Beg your pardon?
Nothing. He's not in his office at the moment. You'll have to wait.
Right. I see. They say he's a bit eccentric.
Do they?
They say he can be rude and abusive for no reason at all, so they say. Perhaps they were joking.
They weren't.
What?
They weren't joking.
Oh. I see. So, he might be rude and abusive towards me.
He will.
I don't see why. I haven't done anything wrong.
It's just his way.
Well, it's a pretty odd way, if you ask me.
He won't.
Like what?
Ask you. Look, what do you know about the amazing Rodney J. Groomes?
Ah, well, I googled him. He's a multi-millionaire.
Billionaire.
Really? Oh, God. The site must be out of date. It says online that he's single, but not gay. He expects a lot for his money. He's ruthless in his business dealings, but is very generous to his favourite charities. How's that?
Not bad. Did it say anything about him being absolutely bloody bonkers?
No. Should it?
Definitely.
When you say bonkers, in what way bonkers?
In every way a person can be bonkers, I suppose. A different way every day.
Well, I don't suppose know what way I'll be bonkers in today, do you?
I wish.
Oh. Well, what time does he come in?
Oh, he's in. You see, he rarely goes out. You see, through there, it's not just an office. It's a whole complex. Living accommodation, squash court, pool, a high-tech multimedia suite, and God knows what else. And then there's the pig hut sty through there, where he communicates through me to the outside world. If you can call shouting, swearing, and generally being abusive communication, it's ridiculous, really. He has all this high-tech equipment so that he can talk to and see anyone, anywhere in the world. Yet he won't have a bloody intercom fitted to speak to me.
Well, how do you know when he wants you?
Hang around and you'll find out. I should make yourself comfortable if I were you. We could be here all day.
Right.
Oh, there are some annual reports for some of the companies he owns on the filing cabinet. I should have a look through them, familiarise yourself with them.
Right. Will that help?
I shouldn't think so, but it will help pass the time.
worked for him long?
Too long. 11 years.
11 years? Well, I suppose you know him pretty well by now, then.
Not really.
Oh. Well, you know, many people work for him for a long time, you know, a corporate family.
No, you must be joking. Most people are lucky to last 11 months, not years.
Well, it says online, it's a constant turnover of young, brilliant staff that help keep the company fresh and exciting.
Does it really? Shows how little they know. The company is a success because he is a genius, and we are here to simply run around after him. If we weren't here, he'd still make his billions, but we are here to simply feed his ego.
So I suppose you're the only long-serving member, then?
No, Hugh McLintoch, the Human Resources Director who interviewed you, he's been here about 7 years. He only suffers the abuse because he's a qualified psychiatrist and is fascinated with Groomes' behaviour. That and the high remuneration that he receives, well, that's what keeps most people here, well, for a few months anyway.
Well, I should stick it out. I find it impossible to get another job at this kind of salary. I think I can stand a few insults for this kind of money.
Really? We shall see, won't we?
Get in here, you slut!
Is that the dulcet tones of my Lord Master Radio? That, Tim, was the high-tech intercom device of the League of the World's financial institutions. Effective, don't you think?
Did I hear him call you a slut?
Yes, he must be in a good mood today.
Sounds pretty angry to me. Shouldn't you get in there quick?
No, don't want to spoil him. Might start taking me for granted.
Mo, you stinking old broad! Get in here or you're out of a job!
There, I told you he'd soften.
He said he was going to sack you.
Fat chance. Who else would work for him?
Mo! You better get in here!
All right, I'm coming. Don't burst a blood vessel. See you soon, Tim. Or not, is the case, maybe. Good morning, Mr. Groomes, and how are you today?
I'm bloody angry is how I am today.
Well, what a surprise.
Don't be flippant. Look at this mess. Can you explain it?
A slight breeze from an open window, perhaps?
Possibly. But isn't it part of your pathetically light duties to ensure that my office is kept tidy?
I think not. The last time I tried to tidy your desk up, you threatened to have me disemboweled, if memory serves correct.
Did I? Oh, yes. Well, I've changed my mind. From now on, it's your job to keep my office tidy.
Right.
But don't you bloody well dare move anything. Get on with it. Oh, get out of the way. Too bloody old and feeble to do anything right. I do not know why I keep you around.
I imagine it's just your natural, innate kindness.
Yeah, that's always been my weakness. There. That's better. Now, you see you keep it like that.
Yes, Mr. Groomes.
Oh, I've been telling you for bloody years to call me Rod.
Yes, Mr. Groomes.
You're a mental old tart.
Yes, Mr. Groomes.
Now, what's all this shit about you going on holiday?
On Monday for 4 weeks.
Not possible, it's my busy time. Request denied.
On Monday for 4 weeks.
You've never had more than 2 weeks in all the years you've worked for me. Well, I use the term work in its broadest sense.
On Monday for 4 weeks.
Look, what's the rush? Why can't you wait? Oh, I know. You've at last got some poor, demented half-wit to get between your legs and give you
I'm going on a holiday to South Africa to visit my sister and her family, if you must know.
But why are you going for 4 weeks?
Well, it's It's a long way to go for just 2 weeks. I haven't seen them for years and my nieces are growing up.
South Africa? A long way? This is the 21st century. South Africa's just a few hours away.
Oh, yes, says you who never leaves the front door.
Right, I shall sack you.
And I shall sue you for wrongful dismissal.
Wrongful dismissal? On what grounds?
On the grounds that I am entitled by law to 4 weeks paid holiday per year.
Bastard politician! Oh, I should have been in business in Dickensian times. They knew how to treat uppity staff in those days.
Don't worry, I'll get you a temp.
Oh, God, no, not a temp! Oh, no, I remember that one from last year. She looked like a pig in knickers. Couldn't stand her. I got rid of her the first morning.
And she sued us for abuse and bullying.
Abuse? What sodding abuse?
Well, calling her lard-ass, for example.
Was that it? Just that? Oh, she's got no sense of humour. That was her problem.
And what about the other 29?
29 what?
The other 29 temps that you've had while I've been on holiday.
I have never had 29 temps.
Really? I've got them all down here. Janet O'Mara. Remember her?
Ginger nut all the fly shit over her face.
Possibly. She lasted 2 days. Gabby Hamilton?
Don't remember her. Oh, wait a minute. Black girl. Nice ass. Oh, I liked her.
Yes, but unfortunately she didn't like you. It was when you suggested it is the bathroom needed scrubbing. She could use her hair. She lasted 4 days. Sylvia Spriggs, ring a bell?
Now, I know I've never heard of that one.
I'm not surprised. A very thin, pale girl.
Wait a minute. I remember. Oh, yes. That was very strange. She walked in. I said, "Good morning." Then she started blubbering and I never saw her again.
No, you didn't say good morning. In fact, you said, and I quote, "Bugger me, they've sent me a skeleton. Where did they dig you up from? The cemetery? What's your name, Buzz?"
Is that supposed to be me?
Yes.
My God, Rory Bremner must be crapping himself.
Oh, I've got plenty more.
Well, it's all your fault. You keep getting me these useless bits.
Oh, yes, it's my fault. It just so happens they're all highly qualified, intelligent girls who you abused until they left. Most of them in tears.
Well, they all got paid for 2 weeks, didn't they? Wait a minute. What about that Russian girl? She was here for a while. Had a sense of humour, she did.
Oh, yes. Olga Petrov, your long-serving temp. 8 days. Of course, we realised she didn't actually understand English quite as well as she said she did. It basically took her 8 days to realise what an abusive prick you are. Her words, not mine. We had a lot of trouble from her 2 brothers. They came round with hammers threatening to break both your kneecaps. Of course, it cost a lot of time and money by security and legal staff to sort it all out.
Your fault again, you see. I mean, fancy settling on illegal immigrants. Oh, she should be sent back to where she came from. Her and her vicious siblings. I mean, what is this country coming to? They'll let anyone in these days.
The result of all this mayhem is that none of the temp agencies will send any of their girls to be given nervous breakdowns by you.
What about old Plumgold? I'm her best customer. She gets loads of work out of me. Tell her to bully one of her girls to come here.
I have been in touch with Sally James at the Jackie James Agency. Her girls would sooner leave than work for you.
Well, we've got to have some innocent young girl here who hasn't heard about my high standards. In fact, there must be quite a few. That's it. Set up a rota. 2 days each while you're away. That should do it.
I don't think so. Most girls won't even come up to the 5th floor, let alone come to this office. They all think you're a serial killer. Or at the very least a rapist.
Really? Nice to know I've got a bit of street cred. Well, despite all this, I have to have a girl Friday while you're about in Bongo Land. And it's your responsibility to find someone. And if you don't, I won't let you go!
On Monday for 4 weeks!
Yes, don't start all that again.
I might have a possible solution.
Oh, good old Mo. I knew I could trust you. You're a ugly old bag, but I almost like you. Well, I don't dislike you as much as I dislike most people.
Sally James says that she knows a girl from college that she could send here.
Oh, yes. And what's wrong with her? Is she a blue-toe woman or a freckled-faced fart? Because if she is...
I don't know what she looks like.
Photo!
No photo. All I know is that Sally says she's very outspoken. Some of her jobs only lasted a few days and she was sent back as not suitable.
Well, thank you very much. You mean you want me to have this gobby bird for 4 weeks? To have her mouth and a half blabbing at me?
Sally said she really liked her. It's just that she's not very subservient. In your language, she won't take any shit from anybody. She works for some people who quite like that.
Well, I don't.
You'd better. We are normally forced to pay 5 times the going rate for one of her girls, but Admirable, that's the girl's name, wants 10 times the going rate in advance.
Admirable? Ad bloody Myra? What a sort of a name is that? Is she some happy clapper? Look, I'm not going to have someone waving her hands about the place and singing all day, and that's final. Anyway, what's all this about 5 times normal fee?
That is what we have to pay. 10 weeks' money for 2 weeks working for you. That is what your reputation is costing you. And let me remind you that Admirable wants 10 times the going rate in advance.
What's that bony-ass bird cost me 10 weeks' money for the 2 minutes she was here before she rushed out blubbering?
Yes, that is what your reputation is costing you. So for 4 weeks' money for Admirable, you will be paying 40 weeks' money. And let me remind you, her full name is Miss Admirable D. Smith.
Admirable? Oh, God, what sort of a name is that?
I don't know. You can ask her yourself. She's coming in this afternoon for your approval.
I don't like her.
You'd better. She's already been paid. Sally insisted.
Right. I'll bloody well keep this slag for 4 weeks, and boy, is she going to regret it.
Right. Oh, there's a young man, Tim Mallock-Brown, here to see you. Hugh MeLintoch sent him up.
Right. Send the snivelling little bastard in when I shout. Just in the mood.
He's ready to see you now. Wait for his master's voice.
Oh, yes. He'll call for me, will he?
Shout for you.
Yes. Shout. Have you got any, tips? Less than the risk of abuse?
I've never found any.
Oh, in 11 years?
No.
Oh. So is this kind of like, a new starters interview?
More like a new leavers.
Oh. That's not right. I'm all signed up, a 3-month contract.
Makes no difference, really. You'll be paid, but he could well throw you out.
Physically?
Is there any other way?
Virtual throwing out.
I don't think he's ever heard of one of those. He's more of a scruff of the neck, seat of the pants, and out you go sort of a man.
Right. What would happen if I were to just, go?
Nothing really. You'll be defaulting on your contract and you'll get nothing.
It might still be worth it.
Only you can tell.
Tim! Get in here!
if you don't mind.
Not at all. Are you a bollock? Sorry. Mallock or a Brown?
Both.
Oh, I see. Parents too stuck up their own arses to be playing on Mr. and Mrs. Brown, eh?
Grandparents, actually.
Don't split hairs, Jim. Tim. I shall call you Jim. Jim Brown. I've got no time for any of this pathetic social climbing. I'm just plain Rod. You can call me Mr. Groomes. Well, that is if I ever speak to you again. Where did you get that suit?
I don't remember.
Yes, you do. Oh, Florence and Fred. Tesco. Bloody Tesco. So, the Browns get kitted out for their season at Tesco's, do they, Jim?
I'm sorry. Now that I'm earning, I'll be able to afford a better suit.
Don't be sorry, Jim. I own a lot of stock in Tesco's. They're doing very well. Do you wear underpants?
Pardon?
I'm sorry. They didn't say you had a hearing impediment.
Did you fall?
Dear God, no. When have I ever inquired about your knickers? The thought of them makes me feel quite silly. Go away. Jim and I are having a private conversation.
Roll on Monday!
Well, do you?
Of course.
There's no bloody of course about it. There's plenty you don't. It's called going commando. Particularly favoured amongst the gay community.
Well, I can assure you I do wear underpants.
Quite right. So do I. You don't get skid marks all over your brand new Tesco trousers, would you, Jim?
No.
Right, well, enough of this merry banter. MeLintoch hired you, didn't he?
Yes. Yes, he did. And I'd just like to say, as it's my first job out of university, and to be offered a place at such a prestigious organisation...
Yes,
really
yes, yes, yes. Cut the flannel. Bit of a wanker.
Who, me?
No. Old MeLintoch. Bit of a wanker, wouldn't you say?
I don't know, I only spoke to him for half an hour.
Yes, but he's a human resources personnel type of person. You have to be. Do you understand?
Seemed quite nice to me.
Yes, I suppose so. But still a wanker. Always has been.
Well, if he is, what you say he is, why do you hire him?
Getting a bit bold now, are we, Jim? Well, I'm going to let you in on a little bit of business acumen. If I got rid of dear old Hugh, I would have to hire another personnel director. And as is the nature of the job, another wanker! Yeah. Do you see?
I think so.
Do you? I doubt that very much. I've learnt a lot about you, Jim. You've got your first job, get kitted out at Tesco's amongst the sausages and pork pies. But now, with all the money you'll receive from your generous employer, namely me, you'll be off to Savile Row. Always wears pants to stop getting skid marks on your brand new Tesco trousers.
Definitely.
No commando for you. So you're not gay then?
Of course not.
Well, don't say it like that with such disdain in your voice. There are woofers everywhere these days. Much respected. Even if they don't wear pants.
I'm sure they do.
You seem to know a lot more about this subject than you're letting on. Have you dabbled a bit?
I just know. And just know a few friends at university of that persuasion. They always seem very clean and hygienic to me.
Defending them now, are we?
No, just putting the record straight.
Mr. Groomes, have you
time. Have you got those figures for me?
Of course.
Well, don't say it like that, you fatuous wench. I remember when you sent me into that meeting with all the wrong figures. I looked like a proper fool in front of all those crabs.
That was 7 years ago. And you didn't look a fool because you always have the figures in your head. I don't know why you asked me to print them off all the time.
To get you off your fat arse, that's why. Go on, admit it. You blew it big time. Go on.
Yes,
Go on.
Mr. Groomes. For the 100th time, I made a mistake. I wish I was perfect like you. How's that?
Better. So in future, when I say, have you got the figures, don't say, of course, in that superior tone.
Yes, Mr. Groomes. No, Mr. Groomes. Anything you say, Mr. Groomes. While you're on your telephone conference call, I shall pop into town to do a spot of shopping for my 4-week holiday starting on Monday.
Well, don't get a black swimsuit or Greenpeace will be called out to protect you from the whalers!
Yes? All right, send her up. Mr. Groomes, your temper's arrived. It's no good hiding. She won't go away.
You can bugger off and so can she!
I'll ask her to wait, shall I?
Piss off!
Right you are. I shall await your call. Do come in. What? I said do come in.
Ah, yeah. Sarcasm. Wasted on me, I'm afraid.
Sorry. You must be Admirable Smith, I presume.
And you must be St. Maureen, so they say.
Who says?
Everybody I've spoken to. They say you must be a saint to put up with old misery guts. Still, I suppose it makes life interesting.
It has its moments, and the money's good.
I was amazed when Sally told me how much. Good old Sally looks after old schoolmates. Still, must be a real creep to have to pay that much to get someone to work for him. Has he got a screw loose?
Quite a few rattling around, I should think. Now, about this CV of
I
yours.
know, don't believe it, do you? Look, been spending some of the loot I'm going to be making. What do you think? With some purple flares, perhaps?
Or pink Wellingtons.
Sarcasm again, you see.
Sorry, now to get back to this CV.
Think I've made it up?
Well, a degree in English, foreign languages, philosophy.
Don't go on, it's embarrassing the number of scholarships I've wasted. I've got all the certificates here if you really want to see.
Don't bother, I believe you.
I'm a complete smart ass and worth every penny he's paying me. Still, you'd think with all my qualifications I should get a permanent job easily. Never have. Do you believe that?
I think I'm starting to.
So where is the old moneybags? Can't wait to meet him. I know he's got a bad reputation, but I get on with everybody.
Mo! Send in that terribly, terribly temporary tar!
Excuse me? Mr. Groomes? Miss Smith?
Look at you! We must go to the same outfits.
Are you intending to come to work for me dressed like that?
Well, are you going to be dressed like that?
It looks like an explosion in a paint factory.
If the mood takes me.
Yeah, I'm like that. Free spirit, go where life takes me. I may be dressed all in black tomorrow. Like a ninja.
Now listen, you!
You? What's this you? Admirer or Addy, if you don't mind. I don't respond to hear you, whistles, or any kind of semaphore.
Right. I think we ought to get our working relationship settled from the start. For instance, I won't stand
Right,
for a...
started you mean to go on. What shall I call you? Rodney, Mr. Groomes, Face Ache? handicap. You're Rodney Groomes, Captain of Industry. Do you remember?
Stay here! Yes! Mo, you cannot leave me here with her.
What's wrong with her?
What's wrong with her? She's bloody nuts for a start, and she's so sodding rude.
Really? I hadn't noticed.
I bet you've never met anyone as rude as her.
You would lose your bet.
What, me? Oh, I'm so rich I'm allowed to be rude. Don't think she's rich, do you?
I shouldn't think so.
Well, why isn't she more subservient? Showing me more respect. Never met anyone like her.
No, I must admit, neither have I. Well, seeing as my temper's arrived, I think I'll get off a little bit earlier.
No, Mo, I beg you. I can't stand a month of her. I'll die.
Don't worry. You managed to get rid of your other temps being your usual sweet, rude self.
But that won't work with her. She won't even realise I'm being rude. I doubt she even listens.
Right, let's get on with it then. You off, Mo? Don't worry. I'll look after Wonder Boy here.
No, she touched me. Actually hugged me.
Oh, what's the matter with him? Has he got a problem with physical contact?
I wouldn't know. I've never tried hugging him before. Oh, I want to go, but I can't bear to tell myself I'm
No, don't go.
Oh, bless him. I've really upset him.
Come here, you! Get off me, you bloody loony!
I'm only trying to be friendly.
Can't you get it into your thick head? I don't want to be friendly. I want you to bugger off.
Now, you don't mean that.
I do. I bloody well do.
You go, Mo. But settle down once you've gone. Stop showing off.
Did you ever used to work in a nursery?
I did. How do you know?
Just a wild guess. Well, if you're sure that you can cope, I'll head off. I'll see you in a month.
Now, don't be silly. Time will fly. You'll soon be back safe and sound.
You're insane. I'm going to have security throw you out.
Oh, I've got a pass.
I'm the boss. If I ask them to throw you out, all they'll say is, how far?
Now, listen. As far as I'm aware, you haven't been out of this office for 5 years. There's only about 3 or 4 people who even know what you look like, so I would have a better chance of getting rid of you than you getting rid of me.
So that's it. A month with you.
Yeah, don't worry. We'll get on like a house on fire.
God, roll on 4 weeks on Monday.
Ah, you're there.
You're early.
And I caught the worm.
What?
Oh, never mind. Well, oh, fabulously wealthy one, what are your first orders for me?
First and most important, no more grasping me.
Oh, well, that's all very well, but what if I'm overcome with longing?
Control it. Well, I'm glad to see you're dressed in a more appropriate manner today.
So are you?
Why?
Why what?
Why are you dressed in a more suitable fashion? Sure it's not because I told you to.
Definitely not. I dress like that to show the old farts who I work for that I'm my own person and not prepared to be dictated to. Didn't seem a lot of point with you because you were more outrageous than me.
That's very interesting. I do the same thing because I won't be dictated to.
Suppose that's why you're so rude as well.
Me? I'm not rude.
Oh, come off it. You're quite famous for being revolting.
Well, you can talk. They told me you can't keep a job because you are, how they say, too outspoken. We're a pair. Look, I've got to ask the obvious question. Why Admirable?
Oh, that's my Gran's fault. She said with a surname like Smith, you really needed a formidable first name to make people remember you. She called my mum Sensible.
Sensible Smith? Was she?
Nah, none of we Smiths are. Atheists, Republicans, etc. If there's any tradition you can be against, the fighting Smiths are against it. Are your family like that?
Nope. Wish they were. Never knew my mother.
Aw, that's sad. Did she die young?
Nope. She just buggered off just after I was born to get away from my father, Rodney J. Groomes III.
So you're really Rodney the Fourth?
No bloody fear. I gave up all that hogwash. My father is a bloody awful person. He's slimy, creepy, oily, dresses to perfection, smells of lavender, speaks in a whisper, he always smiles, nobody trusts him an inch. I swore I would never be like him.
Well, you've succeeded in that to perfection. Is he still alive?
Very much so. Still making his millions.
And did he give you your start?
Not a chance. My grandfather, that's Rodney II, he left me $1 million in trust for me when I turned 21.
Still, I suppose Daddy helped you on your way.
Not on your Nelly. Evil bugger tried to con me out my birthright.
Trying to con his own son?
Oh, look, it makes no difference to him. He's a member of all the clubs and guilds, plays golf with the right people, smarming up to them, creeping up to them. You know, all he's doing is trying to work out how much money he can make from everyone he knows. But I'll tell you this, he's a few $100 million behind me.
Well, you did have a good start, though.
Well, that's true. Making the first $1 million is difficult. After that, it's easy.
I'll have to take your word for that. We Smiths are still trying to get our first 1,000 together.
Yes. Look, what the bloody hell's going on here? I've not got the time to listen to you gabbing on all day.
Quite right. But the others for me, man,
Look, you're obviously bright.
That's true.
If gobby.
I'm...
Shut up! Now, this is how it works. Contrary to popular belief, I work in my media room 16 hours a day. Buying, selling, doing deals. Sometimes 50 a day. You're supposed to look impressed.
I'm impressed. I'm impressed.
Good. Now, for instance, I bought a Spanish foundry yesterday. And that and many other deals need to be put onto the system.
Right, what's the system?
Listen! Now this foundry, for example, is non-UK, but it is in the EEC. It's labelled as engineering and fully owned against a controlling interest of 51%. More than 30%, I could put my own director in. Less than 29, I'm just an ordinary shareholder. Now is this a loss or profit-making company? Does it make more than 7.5% per year? You're not taking notes.
No.
Look, normally Mo goes away for just 2 weeks. The bloody useless girl she gets in, I can't trust not to bugger up the system. So I leave it till she gets back. But I can't leave it for an entire month. You will at least have to do some of the work. So try and take this job a bit more seriously.
Right, shut up and stop flapping your lips. What is the Spanish company called?
Now look here.
What are they called?
Believe it or not, the Inferno Foundry, Madrid.
Right. The Inferno Foundry Madrid, cross-entered under engineering non-UK, EEC, fully owned as against a controlling interest or just a shareholder, bought yesterday the 29th, better profitability than 7.5%. Is that what you said?
Well, I suppose I'll have to do.
That was bloody perfect.
Yes, all right.
Well, go on, say so then.
All right then, you're bloody perfect. Even the wonderful Mo makes mistakes occasionally.
I won't. What's through there?
Everything I need, and before you ask, you can't go in.
How long have you had your agoraphobia?
Who says I'm agoraphobic?
Everybody.
Well, everybody's wrong.
They say you haven't been out for years.
Well, that is true.
Why?
Why what?
Why haven't you been out for years?
If you must know, I work 15 to 16 hours a day. I have to eat and sleep. Anyway, everything I need, I have through there. I have my food delivered. What more could I want?
Well, I could think of a few hundred things.
Like what?
Going to nice places to eat, going to clubs to dance, mixing with people, having drinks with your friends. Lots of nice things. I could go on forever.
Well, don't. I haven't got the time.
Why? There's no point you making any more money. If you lived to be 1,000, you couldn't spend it all.
Yeah, that's very interesting. I mean, I could live forever without even touching my capital. I'd still get rich all the time. Now, enough of this. Come on. Go to your computer. Come on. Type in loads of cash, no spaces, all one word, and the last few days' transactions will come up. I've got to go and make a few more millions before lunch. Come on. Go, go, go.
Is he in?
Somewhere in his labyrinth. You're brave, entering the lion's den.
I wouldn't, but Mr. MeLintoch sent me to see how you're coping with him.
Oh, that was nice of Hugh to worry about how he's coping with me.
No, I think it's more how he's coping with you.
Oh, for goodness sake, what is the matter with everybody? There's no problem. He's a bit odd, but he makes life interesting.
Interesting is not the word for it. He started asking me about my underpants. Very embarrassing.
Oh, that's why he does it.
So, you don't really think he's interested in my underpants?
I doubt it very much. He just likes to embarrass people.
Well, he doesn't embarrass you.
Oh, he tries, but I'm impervious. Still, he hasn't got onto the subject of my underpants yet.
Oh, he will. And, if you'll pardon the expression, it's not just the pants. It's the understatement.
Right. Well, at least I should be prepared for it.
So, I'll tell Mr. MeLintoch that everything's all right then.
Yes, yes. We have a working relationship. To be honest, I quite like him. So clever, real financial genius. If you lot knew what he did in there every day, it would amaze you.
Well, I don't see how anybody can like him. He's really weird.
I'm really weird too, and I'm a girl.
You don't fancy him?
And what if I do? What's it got to do with you?
Nothing. Sorry. You better go.
Yeah, go on, Scarper. I've got work to do.
Are you going to have your lunch down by the coffee machine?
Oh, I may do.
Addy! Addy!
You better go. Go on.
I'm gone.
Addy, who are you talking to? No one comes up here unless I invite them. Who was it?
It was Tim.
Oh, what did that miserable little turd want?
Nothing. He just came up for a chat.
A chat? A bloody chat? You've not got the time to listen to that snivelling little creep.
I have.
What?
I have. You don't give me enough work to keep my agile mind occupied for the entire day. And he is not a snivelling little creep. Tim is a very nice young man.
Oh, now we get down to it. You fancy him, don't you?
Bloody hell no. I'm bored shitless with him in about 5 minutes.
Well done, Addy. You were going down in my estimation then, but now I see we're both on the same track.
Actually, Hugh sent him to spy out the lay of the land. They're all amazed I'm still here.
Typical of Hugh. Windy old fart. He hasn't got the courage to come up here and find out for himself.
Well, I suppose that's true. But it's nothing to be proud of, people being frightened of you and not liking you.
You're a fine one to talk. You don't give a toss for anyone.
Well, after working for you, I'm not sure that's the right way.
What? People say I'm rude.
Oh, well, I didn't mean to be rude.
You do normally.
If I wanted to be rude, I could call you a self-centered, egotistical, spoiled bastard. That would be rude, but it's the truth. I always thought it was important to tell the truth. Now I'm not so sure.
What do you do for lunch?
What?
What do you do for lunch?
Well, there's a sandwich van that comes round. There's some picnic tables by the coffee machine. We have our lunch down there.
We? Oh, is that where you met Mallock-Brown?
Yes. Tim and a few others.
I have a gourmet meal every day. They deliver them weekly. They're excellent. Mind you, they should be. They cost a fortune. Mind you, there's always too much. I should think I'll eat half of it.
Well, that's all very nice, but Archie's sandwich van is all I can afford.
Well, yes, I'm sure it's very nice.
Well, why don't you come down and try it then?
I don't think so. One's palate becomes accustomed to the finer foods of this world.
He's such a bloody snob. Well, Maeve Hellett is accustomed to baked beans on toast, cheese and onion sandwiches, and black pudding. All good farting fodder.
Hello, anyone there?
Look, come in here.
Where is she?
I've sent her on an errand. It's her I want to talk about.
Now, look, Rodney, this is just your chance to insult and abuse me, then I'm really not in the mood. It's your fault you can't get a temp as soon as Mo goes on holiday, and anyway, she's back in 10 days.
Shut up! I want to keep her.
What?
Oh, get your ears syringed. I want to keep her permanently.
What about Mo?
Oh, well, I'll keep her too. She's getting a bit feeble. She could use the help.
Feeble? No, you better tell her. I won't.
Look, you just leave that to me. I want Addie on the staff.
Well, no problem. You just tell her.
No, you tell her. Tell her that you've decided and it is nothing to do with me.
Why?
Because it's your job to do the hiring and firing around here. You're the head of human resources.
That's news to me. Every time I make a decision, you reverse it.
Look, why are you being so argumentative? It's your decision. Now do as you're bloody well told.
Better. Now I know where I stand. Though I still can't see why you can't tell her the bad news yourself. Of course. Perhaps you say no. What do I mean, perhaps?
She better not. You persuade her. You're good at that, you smarmy old toad.
Right. I still don't know where I stand. This is some rotten plan to hurt and embarrass the poor girl, no doubt.
Look, just do it. But not while I'm around. Hugh, before you go, I'd like a word. Would you like to sit down?
Down? What do you mean, sit down? What are you up to? I'll stand, thank you.
You are so suspicious.
I've good reason to be now. Come on, what is it? What are you up to?
Well, hypothetically, you understand?
Yes.
As long as you understand that.
Yes, I understand that.
If you were taking someone out for a meal...
Who?
Look, never mind that. How would you go about it?
Well, first of all, I'd ask them what sort of food they liked.
I hadn't thought of that.
Then, I would ask if there's any favourite place they like to go to.
Good, good.
Tell me, hypothetically, would this be a romantic encounter?
Hypothetically, yes.
Then I would ask if she, or he, like to go to a club afterwards.
What do you bloody well mean, he?
Well, you never know.
You do now. Is that it?
Well, yes, apart from...
What are you doing?
Well, I always used to say, would you like to come up for a cup of coffee? Wink.
What do you mean? Wink.
Wink. Well, you know, good food, fine wine, perhaps we could spend the night together.
Dear God, you were a randy little sod, weren't you?
I've had my moments.
Well, as I said, it's all hypothetical. I mean, I'd want to have dinner with me.
Ooh, Lots of people would. Don't be silly. I'd have dinner with you.
Are you insane? I would never have dinner with you. That was rude, wasn't it?
What was?
Saying that I'd be insane if I thought you'd have dinner.
I suppose so.
Look, just give me a straight answer. Was it or wasn't it?
Well, with most people, yes, it would be very rude.
But with me, it's just normal.
You're normally much ruder than that.
Yes, I see. Right, well, I apologise.
I know you feeling all right.
Look, I've apologised. Now push off! Addy, can you come in a minute?
Hang on, I've only just arrived.
Morning, Addy.
Morning, boss. Been busy? Got lots of work for me?
Not really, no.
What's this? Been slacking? Where's this 16 hours of work a day?
I've had other things on my mind.
Ah, there was a question I wanted to ask you about the Polish shipyard. Something I didn't understand.
Yes, well, leave that for the moment. I've got something I want to ask you.
Something wrong with my work?
No, no, your work is terrific.
Hugh says I can have a permanent job.
Did he?
Did you have anything to do with that?
Me? Oh, no, Hugh takes care of all the hiring and firing around here. I never get involved. Are you going to take the job?
Oh, he says I can stay working with you and Mo.
Well, if that's what he says, it's nothing to do with me.
Oh. Well, I was hoping you'd asked for me.
Yes, well, I did say that I was very satisfied with your work.
Did you? That was nice of you.
Was it?
Don't you know?
Well, yes, but nice is not a word that's been said about me often.
Well, it was nice. Anyway, what do you want to talk to me about?
It's difficult.
No, it isn't. Just open your mouth and spit it out.
That's true. Here I go. Do you eat?
What?
Sorry, what I meant to say is, do you like to eat?
Yes, of course.
Can we start again? What I wanted to ask is, what do you like to eat? Oh, yes.
Ah, well, having established the question, I'm a bit of a gannet. I like Indian, Italian, Chinese, you name it, I'll eat it.
Good, if you like everything, that makes it easy.
No, not marmalade.
Would you, for instance, like to eat at the Savoy?
No.
Is that a yes?
Sorry, boss.
That is an answer in the affirmative.
Right. Now listen very carefully to this next question. Would you like to come with me?
Let's get this straight. You're suggesting you would like to take me to the Savoy for a slap-up feed.
Not only that.
There's more?
Yes?
Come on, I can't wait.
Look, are you taking the mickey?
No, sorry.
Well, I thought afterwards we could go on to a club or something.
Great.
Hey, this is going well. And then, if you want to, we could come up here for drinks.
Oh, yes.
And then perhaps you'll let me shag you.
What did you say?
Oh, I'm sorry. Didn't mean to say that.
So you don't want to, then?
Yes, but I just didn't mean to say it like
I
that.
can understand now why you can't keep a temp. Do you expect all your temps to come across just because you give them a job? It doesn't give you the right to treat us like ours! You bloody pervert!
Bugger! 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 That was going really well. Say that! good, you're back. We've a terrible problem with the new temp.
Well, good morning, Mr. Groomes. Yes, I did have a lovely holiday, thank you. Have you a problem with your temp? Well, what a surprise.
Don't be a bloody smart-ass, Mo. This is a real emergency.
At last, you've killed one of your temps, and we're waiting for the Lord to come and cart you off to the choking.
No, we're waiting for you and Sally to get here to sort it all out.
What's to sort out? Auntie Mo is back and all is well.
All is not well. I've done something terrible.
That I can believe, but we've always managed to pay people off, bribe people, and everything in the garden is lovely again. Until I go on holiday next year.
Never been as bad as this. Really messed up this time.
It must be bad. You've never admitted it was your fault before. You'd better tell me all about it.
Where the bloody hell have you been?
It's only 9:05.
I've been calling you both the whole bloody endless weekend.
We went to stay with Joyce's sister in Bath. The weather was superb.
I'm not interested in what the sodding weather was like in Bath! And you! I left you a dozen phone messages. You didn't answer any of them. Where were you? Playing with your dolls?
I answered as soon as I got in this morning. I don't go into the office over the weekend.
Oh, great. I've had the worst weekend of my life, and nobody is around to give me any help. I don't know why I pay any of you. You're all useless.
Well, someone explain to me what's going on.
All I know it's to do with Addie Smith.
Oh, I knew we'd have trouble with her.
It's not what you think, Mo. He liked her.
Yes, I liked her. For the first time, you bloody morons got me a girl I liked. And now she's gone for good.
I offered her a full-time job, like you said.
Yes, but that was before.
Before what?
Well, what the bloody well is he doing here?
Well, as Tim is the only one who had anything to do with Addie, I thought he might be able to help.
Do with her? Do with her? What did you have to do with her?
Nothing really. We just used to chat by the photocopier in the coffee machine.
Chat? What did you chat about?
About a job mostly.
And what did she say about a job?
She said she liked it. She had the best job she'd ever had.
There you go. See? I'm not such a joker, am I? Did she say anything about me?
Yes.
Well, come on. What did she say?
Well, it's a bit private.
Private? I'll give you sodding private. You tell me every word she said, or I shall throw you out of this building personally. And let me remind you, we're 5 floors up.
Come on, Rod, you can't treat people like that.
That's right, Mr. MeLintoch. I'll go. I'm not standing around here to be fretted.
No, wait. Don't go. I won't throw you out. I just wanted to know if she said any rotten things about me, that's all.
Quite the reverse, actually. She said she thought you were a financial genius. And very...
Very what?
Very sexy. It seems to be a thing for you.
She said that. Tim, you show promise. Hugh, give him a raise. Yeah, that Mo. She's got a thing for me.
Oh, I'm glad we've got that sorted out. Can we get on now, please?
No, it's not sorted out because she stormed out on Friday, never to return. Oh, I'm such a stupid, stupid sod.
Well, don't wait for anybody to contradict you. We've all known that for years.
I just can't imagine what you could have said.
It was terrible.
It usually is.
I don't know what you're worried about. You used to boast about these things.
But this is not the same, Mo.
Now look, I don't see how we can help you unless you tell us what you said.
Right. Well, it was all going along very well. Hugh had advised me. In fact, now that I think about it, Hugh, this is all your fault. I asked her what food she liked. That was good. She liked everything. Oh, wait. Not marmalade. Then then she said she'd like to come to the Savoy with me.
Oh, I bet she did.
And then she said she'd quite like coming to a club afterwards. And that is where it's all your fault, Hugh, with your bloody wink, wink.
Wink, wink.
Yes, he said, invite her up to your place for a drink. Wink, wink.
Oh, I see. Well, what's wrong with that?
I got excited. And I said, perhaps you'll let me shag you.
And what did she say?
What didn't she say? She called me all sorts and she kicked me, Mo, more than once. Look. I didn't mean to say it, it just came out. I'm not used to being careful with what I say.
That's true. I think we can all agree with that. I take it you've tried to find the girl.
I've rung her mobile endlessly. She's just not answering. I got the numbers of the other people in her flat, but then they were rude to me. She's disappeared. Now what are you lot going to do about it?
I don't know. Let's get this straight. You wanted to take this girl out for a slap at meal, then to a club, and then back to your place for drinks and,
No, that was him with his wink, wink, winking. I would have been happy just to sit and talk.
So you didn't want to take it any further?
Well, yes.
But Rod, may I call you Rod, as this is a personal conversation? You are a billionaire, and if you wanted a top starlet or a beautiful model to take out on any night of the week, you would have a queue right around the corner.
Mo, what are the things to suggest? Ugh! I don't want some tart with plastic tits and shiny lips. I want Annie!
Now this is serious.
Why, Mo? Why is it serious?
It could be love.
Sounds like it to me.
Now this is a whole different ball game.
I know what you're feeling now, mate.
So what do we do about it?
Well, I've got a few ideas.
Fire away, boss.
Right. Do we know any shady characters who would throw her in the back of a car and bring her here? You read about these people all the time. They'll do anything for money.
No!
Why not?
Apart from anything else, it's illegal.
Well, technically, I suppose. But as soon as I got her here, I could explain.
It's called kidnapping. You could go to jail for 10 years.
I'm sure under the circumstances, the police would understand.
I don't think they would. They fined me for throwing a KFC carton in the street.
Did they? Bastards! Hang on. How about we get a briefcase and top it up with packs of banknotes? That always seems to work in the films. People seem to like briefcases full of banknotes.
Yes, they do, strangely enough. But this isn't the right occasion.
I think masterly inactivity is what's called for in these cases. Give people a chance to cool off.
I don't want to cool off. This is ruining my business. I haven't done a single deal since Friday. I just can't concentrate.
It is love.
Will you stop saying that?
Now, look, Rod. The best I can offer is a private detective I know. He's very discreet, and he'll find out where she is.
Good idea, Hugh. Do you think he might know any of these strong-arm people?
No, he won't.
Will you get that idea right out of your head?
Hang on. The police. That's it. We'll get the police to catch her.
You can't. She hasn't done anything.
That's all right. You tell them that she's stolen something.
No, you can't do that. I won't be party to accusing anyone of theft.
It's fine. Once they've caught her, I'll drop the charges.
And this plan is supposed to endear you to her.
What do you mean?
Don't you think she might be a little upset, you having the police sent round and accusing her of theft?
Not really. I'll just tell her I didn't mean it.
Don't you see that is not the point?
I don't see what you're getting at.
Now, look, Rod, do you want this girl to like you?
Of course. That's the whole bloody point. But I can't get her to like me if she isn't here, can I?
Well, I hardly think that getting her kidnapped or arrested will be a successful strategy.
Perhaps not.
There's no perhaps about it. You must understand, Rod. You can't go round in your usual way. This is a time for tact and understanding in a gentle manner.
What?
It's no good. He doesn't understand what
I don't like all this, Mo. I'm into something I don't understand.
No, you wouldn't. It's called being human.
Oh, don't be nasty to me, Mo. Not today of all days. I'm not feeling myself.
I'm sorry, there.
Soon get you back to your old self.
I'm not so sure that's such a good idea.
Don't be cruel, Mo.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's just that I've waited for this moment for 11 years. The payback day. And look at him. There's just no satisfaction in it. Come on, we'll find a way to sort something out. We always have, haven't we?
Yes. I've always been able to rely on you, haven't I, Mo?
Yes. Here come the cavalry to the rescue again.
I know some of the places you used to go, because I used to go there as well. I'll ask around.
Thanks. I'll try anything. I'm desperate.
I'm afraid she'll only be found if she wants to be.
Ah! Is she going to come in to collect her wages?
Paid in advance, Sally insisted.
Well, that's typical of you, that is.
I'm sorry, Rod, but where temps are concerned, you cannot be trusted.
Well, that's it. She'll never be happy again.
Oh, for goodness sake, it's only been 2 days.
2 days? Only 2 days? You're heartless, you are, Mo. Other people achieve happiness. I end up with a broken heart. Right, who laughed? Did you? That is the most cruel and hurtful thing I've ever heard.
Don't worry, Rod, she'll be back.
This is all your fault.
It's all right. You can come out with me if you like. I'll show you a good time. And some other girls.
You're on borrowed time, you are. And this is all your fault. I was fine when you sent me those other stupid bitches. Then you had to go and send Addie here.
Oh, don't take on so.
First love, eh? I'm still waiting for mine.
Don't worry, we'll find her.
Yeah, well, she'll come back. We'll find a way.
What's
We'll
going
figure
on?
that out.
Addie! You're back! Push off! All of you! Get up! Fuck her off!
Rod! That is very rude.
What is?
That is rude.
But I want them to go so that I can talk to you alone.
Well, you don't speak to people like that, do you?
Yes!
I can confirm that. If anything, he was a bit polite.
So, you want me to talk to you while they're all here, do you?
No.
I think we better go.
No. I think Adam would like us to be asked to withdraw in a more civilised manner.
Would you?
Certainly would.
Right. Would you mind? I'm not very good at this, you know. Going into the next room for a few minutes so that I can talk to Addie alone. Thank you. Look, just piss. Go, please.
That was amazing. I never thought I'd see the day.
I'm so glad you're back. I'm sorry for what. You must believe me.
I believe you.
You do? But you were so cross with me, kicking me in that. I thought I'd never see you again. I've been ringing you, everybody this weekend. Nobody answered. I've been going frantic.
Have you really?
Yes. Haven't eaten or slept since you stormed out.
And why is that?
Well, Mo says...
Mo says what?
I don't like to say. It's silly.
What's silly?
What Mo said.
Oh, for goodness sake, Rod, if you're not going to tell me.
No. Don't go. She said I'm in love with you. There you are. I've said it. You can go and tell everyone what a fool I am. I don't care.
And why would I do that? what she said, did she?
Yes.
And what do you say?
Well, I hate to admit it, but Mo is right a lot of the time.
So I've heard.
Well, got anything to say to me?
About what?
Oh, that's not fair. I've put my heart out for you. Made myself look like a proper fool. And you've said nothing.
Maybe I should ask Mo.
Oh, that's it. Tease me. I don't care. I deserve it after what I said. Have I shown you my bruises? They're still sore.
I'm sorry. It was my fault as much as yours. And I'm so sorry about your portions.
Nah, that's all right. I wouldn't care if you'd broken them. I deserved it after what I said.
Yeah, but I was thinking it.
What? As well as me?
Yep. So I didn't really have any right to be nasty to you.
Does this mean the date is still on?
If you want to.
Of course I want to. Hey, does this mean you're now my girl?
Oh, I don't know. That cuts both ways. If you're my guy.
Positively. Should we do something now?
You could kiss me.
What? In my office?
As good a place as any.
That was great. That was even better. Hey, why are you laughing?
Because I'm happy.
Yeah, me too. Look, wait here. All right. We're almost engaged. You can congratulate us if you like.
Oh, they make a good pair.
I think I can honestly claim the credit for this. It was my idea and you was all against it.
Now hang on. Who was the one who first introduced Addy?
But then again, if I hadn't decided to go on holiday, it was all down to me.
Stop arguing! You silly sod. Sorry. People. In the end, it was the judgment of you all, my dear friends. It was admirable.
But you've got a couple of posters on here. The next thing we do is in the park for the Peterborough Festival, where we're doing some, I was going to say Ben Turpin, but that's not right, is it? But we're doing The Alchemist by Ben Jonson, which is a comedy. I mean, Ben Jonson wrote about the same time as Shakespeare, but his comedies are funny. And then after that, we're going to go a bit upmarket, and we're going to do a panto here called Robin Hood. So if you've got small persons, or even if you haven't got small persons, hope you'll come to that. And don't forget, in the park, we can have a picnic, bring your own seats so you're comfortable, and no, it's lovely. Don't think you lot come to the park normally, do you? All right. Yeah, in fact, I remember you lot. Romeo and Juliet wasn't funny, you know. Why did you all cheer when I came on? Anyway, thank you. You've been a wonderful audience. Now, be careful when you go home if you're driving. If you're walking round here, be even more careful. Good night, all, and thank you very much.